Stu, talk about the job Todd Reardon has done with the Caps taking over for Barry Trotz. There's a lot of pressure on him to follow the guy that helped deliver the first Stanley Cup in Caps franchise history. He delivers a Metro Division title in year one. So the organization, they've got to be happy with the transition from Trotz to Reardon at this point, at least.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case, you guys. And listen, Todd's a good hockey man. I look at it two ways. Yes, on the one hand, there is a healthy bit of pressure for a guy like Todd stepping in. It's kind of like, when you've been to the pinnacle and somebody leads you there and that person steps away and you step into that void, that puts a good bit of pressure on you from Todd's perspective, though. But I think Todd has handled that very well. That is a credit to him as a person and his character. But number two, there is a small luxury in all that. You get to look at, kind of recount the things that Barry did successfully, implemented successfully, but you also get the benefit of, from a different perspective, you get to make tweaks that, in your estimation, may help may contribute to the greater good where the team is concerned. So I think Todd's done a fantastic job of that. And let's be clear, he hasn't gone in. He's recognized, I don't need to go in and reinvent the wheel here. There's some modest tweaks, but I just need to find a way to push the right buttons, make sure everybody's in the right seat, and these guys will look after the rest.
Stu, talk about the development of Tom Wilson. This is a guy 3 or 4 years ago that a lot of teams outside of Washington thought not that skilled of a player, more of an enforcer type, a physical type player. But this year he's taken that next step in just 62 games because of the suspension, 22 goals, 18 assists. He's at the 40-point mark, in limited games. What he's brought to this team, especially during the playoffs, is immeasurable.
Oh, it is, without question. And first and foremost, Tom has entered the league, really over his 450 games. You've kind of seen him progress and develop in a very methodical and deliberate way, to the point where last year he is riding shotgun on one of the most, dynamic lines in all of NHL hockey. And not only held his own, but made a meaningful contribution. And with Tom Wilson as his right winger, Alex Ovechkin last year and again this year is putting up remarkable totals. So that's a credit to Alex, but it's a credit to Tom Wilson and what he provides as a player. Let me focus on the one other aspect of Tom's game that probably gets more recognition. He is a physical force. He's a great hitter. He's a tough guy. And you know what? When the other side is concerned, you've just got to be aware that Tom Wilson is on the ice. And what I've liked about that element of his game, he's been reckless in the past. He's gotten himself in a lot of hot water, and he's come close to just wrecking some people, like seriously injuring some people. But I think he's done a pretty good job of taking stock of the situation. Every opportunity for contact that now comes along, he's doing a better job of reading that situation, either saying, here's one where I can get the primary part of this person's body, or if I do try to hit this guy at this moment, he's vulnerable, and I may not be able to get his body primarily, and he lays off in that situation. So I like the maturation of Tom Wilson in the physical department, and as a player, I cannot say enough about his game. I think he is a rare commodity in today's game.